Hey! Welcome to the Redesign with Prima Facebook group. And if you're watching this on my page, Leah Noell Design Co, welcome. If you guys don't know who I am a decorative furniture painter, and I'm a brand ambassador for Redesign with Prima and Dixie Belle Paint. So I'm going to be using both products on this piece behind me. And I'm gonna wait kind of to go into a little more of it until I see that my live has been approved for the group. So if you guys are catching the replay, you can always hit #replay. And if you guys have questions and you're watching the replay, just go ahead and post them in the comments or shoot me a message. I try to answer my messages every 24 hours. So if you guys ever have a question about anything I do on this live and it's a replay, then you can always shoot me a message. But I go live here on the Redesign with Prima page every Tuesday at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. So, hi Emily. All right, you guys, so I need some advice. I had a plan, and I'm kind of like, this is one of those pieces, I think it would be a disservice if I didn't go live and do this once in a while, where I'm like, I'm kind of in a position where I'm kind of wishing I didn't have this coffee bean base coat. I'm wishing I would have done this base coat in caviar. This has texture on it. It has sea spray texture, and my plan was I wanted to do like a faded stencil. And so I have several stencils around me. Let me show, and I have several stencils around me, and I'm kind of deciding which one I want to do. So if you guys could help me, that would be great. I'm also considering adding, like, ghosting out a stencil and then adding in a transfer. So I have this one. This one is called Royal Burgundy. Okay, so I have Royal Burgundy. I'm leaning towards this one a little bit. This one is a Floral Collection. I'm not going to apply the transfer today. I'm going to apply the stenciling, and then I'll put the transfer over the stencil. Hey, Emily. I think I said hi to you. I'm so glad you're here, though, because you have really good taste. So stay with me for a minute. And then I have, what's this one? Violet Hill. But this base is quite brown. And I'm really painting this. The only reason I'm painting this really fast this week is because I am having a float in my hometown 4th of July parade, and I like don't have an inventory right now. Like, things have kind of been moving quick for me. So I'm pulling furniture out of my house, but I wanted to have something I could have for sale on it. So I'm kind of leaning towards these sunflowers. But sometimes I feel like some sunflowers are very fall, you know? But I'm kind of leaning towards these because I could put the mold on it too. And I could, like, ghost out a stencil. I think it would look really cool. Yeah, it kind of does. It's got a lot of texture. And so this will get blended out a lot more. That's why I can't apply the transfer yet, because this has to get blended more. But what do you guys think? And then I started going neutrals, and then I'm like, Leah, you're in the 4th of July parade. Your other pieces are like bright blue and red and fun, and then you're going to have like a brown piece? Like, come on. So I got to make it more fun. So I'm thinking, I'm kind of leaning towards these. And so what do you guys think? Do you guys think these sunflowers on this buffet? And then the style of the buffet too, I'm kind of trying to take into consideration. So I'm leaning towards these possibly, or I'm leaning towards just doing a stencil, possibly doing a raised stencil. I'm going to put the stencil on not raised first, and then if I like it, I might raise it. But I might just put a stencil on, and then after the stencil is on, I'll dry brush over it, and I'll blend this out. So this would be darker, this would be lighter in the corners, and I'll do a little blending. You love the sunflowers? I'm thinking I might like the sunflowers too. But and then when I'm thinking about it, this is what keeps going through my head. I know at least 5 people in my town that decorate with sunflowers, so it'd be great. It would, like, make them happy when they saw it in the parade. So I'm kind of between ghosting out this script stencil. I find the script stencil a little bit hard to use. I do. But I feel like this piece is going to be easy to stencil. I have to say it too. I think I'm bothered by this piece because this is one of those pieces that would have just looked really, really good. Just one color, glaze, pop of hardware, and done. But I had to make it complicated. I had to. So I have that stencil, that's script. So that's option A. I have option B, and I don't know what this one's called because it doesn't have a name on it. But this one is kind of lacy, and I like it because it fits. It fits this piece, like to stencil with this one. It fits the piece really well. Like it's the same size as the doors. So this one will be very easy to use, and I like it. And like I said, it'll be ghosted, and it won't be like a pop of stencil. It'll be faded. And even if I put the transfers over it, it'll be faded. I'm kind of liking this one with the sunflower idea. And I'm liking the script more with the floral idea. And then I have this one. I ordered stencils because I didn't have any. I don't know. This one is just kind of probably not going to happen because that one's going to be a little bit hard to put on this piece. Let me see what else I have. And then I have this one. This is, okay, we're not even, this one's going to be too hard to do, and I'm not putting myself through that. This one. I have this one, which I can ghost out too. Hi, Kathleen. You love the sun. Okay, Emily said she, okay, Roz, I need opinions today. Miss Rosalind. So I don't know, I'm thinking this, maybe, but I'm really leaning towards either the script or this lacy one. Because the lacy one would look good with the sunflowers over it, and it might even look good with the other ones. But here's what I'm gonna do. And if you're ever nervous to use texture on your piece, I encourage you to do this first. I've really never been nervous to do anything, but for some reason this piece has got me. It's got me twisted up. I'm gonna put this stencil on. I'm gonna put this stencil on flat and see if I like it. And then if I do, I might raise it. I also might just put the stencil on raised. And then I also thought about just doing like, you know, going totally coastal and changing the whole design. So I am at that point where I'm like, I don't know what I want to do. But it's got to look good in the parade. I think that's what's got me, because I want it to go with my other pieces. And right now it doesn't. So this one is, I don't know the name of this one. I wish we had like the names imprinted down here. And I'm going to make a fancier keyhole. But this one would kind of just, the drawer, and then here, and I could ghost it out. And then I'm thinking the sunflowers. And then after I do some shading and such, the sunflowers would go over it. Or these ones. I kind of like these a lot. I like these a lot. Good morning, Anu. All right, so I think I'm just gonna go with this. We're gonna go with this for now. And I wanted to kind of do a bright color, so I'm just gonna go with this palette. And I think I'm gonna do a blue right here. And then I'll fade that blue out afterwards. So I need to find a blue that's close to that blue, that hydrangea blue. I think blueberry with some cobalt maybe. Let me grab it. Okay. We love the sunflowers and we love the lace stencil. Thank you. Thank you, Miss My White Picket Fence. I appreciate it. Thank you, Roz. Okay. Let's do sunflowers. It's very 4th of July-y, and I think I know. I think it would be good. People love sunflowers. They love them. So I have, so we're going to be in this 4th of July parade, and I ordered 1,200 chip brushes. So we've been attaching, if you've watched my Insta stories, we've been attaching chip brushes to business postcards that I'm going to hand out. My town, I live near Chicago and in Indiana, and my town is the only town having a 4th of July parade this year, so I'm like, I'm getting in it. So I am in the 4th of July parade, and I'm really excited about it. All right. So this is a stone finish. If you guys follow Apple Blossom Way, Chelsea, she teaches this, and she does a really good job of it. And so mine is kind of not, it's not at the point where I'm like, I would put a transfer over this. It needs a lot of work. It needs a lot of blending and shading. And so I just did this as a base. This is coffee bean, built up with Hurricane Gray and then Manatee Gray just to lighten it, because I'm just trying to kind of get rid of that brown. And then I am gonna use, and then, so what I was trying to say there is, if you guys want to learn how to do that, you can follow her and check out her page, because she teaches it much better than I can. So let's go here. I'm gonna tape this down. I'm gonna actually, I went to Menards this morning and bought tape just for this project because I needed some good tape. Probably why I have to go buy tape, because I waste a lot of it. All right. That is not going to hold. Stenciling is not my favorite thing to do, but I like the results of it. Hi, Rachel. Hey, Sherry. Okay, so I have that up. I'm going to mix up a color to match this blue. This blue right here. And I'm thinking I'm going to do a little cobalt with a little bit of blueberry. This is cobalt, very blue. Just a little bit. And I'm going to mix in some blueberry. And I'm just going to grab my stencil brush like this. And I have it like this. And I'm just going to kind of like, just going to kind of blend it on here. Ah, of course. Oh. All right. I want to blend it like that because, let me see. I want to blend it like that because I want it to be like a flower, uneven. I don't want that color to be totally one color or the other. I'm going to wrap another piece of tape on. Okay. Thank you, Sherry. Oh, goodness. Hello, hello. Okay, so we have this. I'm just going to stamp it off on my shirt. I have an old shirt here. I'm just going to stamp it off there. And I'm going to go in. We're going to do it. Now, the reason I'm not doing a textured 3D stencil at this point is because I don't know if I'm going to like this. And so I want to get it on and see if I like it. This piece has just kind of got me perplexed. And, whoa, gosh darn it. Whew. So I'm just kind of, I'm not trying to get like, I'm not trying to cover, I'm not trying to get full coverage with my paint. I'm just kind of trying to get it a little bit. And I'm going to fade over it a little more. So if it's a little brighter, that's okay too. So I'm just trying to blend that paint on my paintbrush. I see your question. I'll peek in a second. Anytime if you can't see what I'm doing, just let me know. I try to keep my head out of the way. Oh, I like that. It's not too bright. Okay, let me see. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're right. It would be very easy to stand the drawer on the floor. I can't get the drawer out of this dresser though. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Roz. Millicent lace. I cannot get the drawer out of this piece. Yeah, this is a newer piece. This is a Thomasville. And I'm having trouble, like I can't really get it out. Now, I don't know that, I think I might actually go back and do this in white. The blue is not really speaking to me. I thought it was for a second there. I'm gonna wipe it off. And I'm gonna redo it in white. Any objections? So, the paint I'm using is Dixie Belle. It has a built-in sealer. So I can wipe this, I haven't sealed this piece yet, but I can wipe this off like right away. Because I don't have that, because it's not gonna like wipe away like a clay paint would. And this is a very textured, layered look. So whatever I do, it's gonna be very forgiving. Thank the Lord, because I don't ever know what I want to do until it's done. All right, so I'm gonna use cotton, which is just a bright white, and I think I'm gonna like it better. I'm gonna leave the blue on my brush and just kind of go in. Hold the transfer up first. Oh, well, Roz, it's too late. I just think, I don't know why I don't like it. I just didn't like it. I liked it for a second, and then I'm like, no. And I'm actually thinking I'm going to hold it on like this to make it easier on me. Look at that. We're getting smarter as the video goes on. That's wet, so it's not going to tape very well. All right, we're going to do it like that. I'm going to hold it. I'm just going to wipe my brush off. I just use an old t-shirt. You know, I buy t-shirts from Old Navy and they never fit right, so I wear them and then they become t-shirt rags. Anyone else have that problem with Old Navy? I can't ever get their clothes to fit me right. I had a whole pile. I went to Old Navy last year and I bought, you know, like shirts to wear while I paint and such. And I think I have a whole stack of them out here because they just don't seem to fit. All right, I wiped that blue out quite a bit. I have my white. I'm dabbing it out. We're going to go on and we're going to see if we like this better. So I'm getting like a soft blue color out of it. This time, as my brain's working a little more, as I'm working on this piece, should be a little darker. I had a little bit too much paint up here. So if you can see, I kind of splotched it up right here. I got a little bit too much paint. I had too much paint on my brush, so it's kind of goopy. And it could be because I wiped it down first and I didn't let it dry. But I like this a little bit brighter because it's going to be able to ghost over it. So I'm going to be able to like shade over it and it's going to look a little better. I'm actually going to wipe this off and I'm going to do this bottom here. I'm going to have to redo that because I don't like the way that paint just gooped up way too much. remember when I was a kid, my grandma came over to do some stenciling on our walls, and she did this, like, she would like put something up and she'd be like, okay Kelly, that's my mom's name, do you like it? Do you have 2 minutes to decide? Because if you don't like it, I would wipe it off. And then she would wipe it off and she'd move it. So maybe that's where I get this from. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a door because I think it'll be the best way to go. All right. I am a mess today. I hope that doesn't happen in the parade. Hi, Annie. Yep, that just fell off of the wheels, and this is a heavy one. This is one of the heavier pieces I have. All right, let's do it over here. All right. Do you see how that fits just perfect on there? Yeah, the wheels are great until they slip off, and that happens to me a lot. They do, they slip off. So I want to kind of figure out how I want this to go. I don't want it super centered. Like that. I got a little bit of paint left over on the bottom that I like to. When it fell off, it dipped in the paint, so I just have to get that off. Okay. I feel like this tape is not doing me any good. Just gonna hold this still. When I dip my brush, I wipe it off on my shirt, my cloth down here. I'm just trying to make sure this doesn't move. looks like fireworks. Oh gosh, that's so much better than I thought it was gonna be. Whew, okay, that's what I wanted. That ghosty look without all the big splotches, but it took a little bit of arm work. The transfer you could get at your local retailer, yes. And Roz just linked that for you. Okay, so that's what I wanted. So I have this here. I'm gonna just take off a little bit of the spots that just kind of have a little bit too much paint. Once this is dry, which will be in like 5 minutes, I can sand over it and then I can shade over the whole thing. So I want this to be like translucent. I don't want to really see this stencil when this is all done. I kind of just want it to be not really there. So I'm going to see if I can move this to the front so we can try that drawer again. But this one is so heavy. Okay, there we go. And when that fell, it spilled my water all over the place. I'm a mess today, you guys. Normally I have it more together, but not today. Not today. It's okay. It'll come together. It is coming together right now. Okay. All right, that's not what we want. So at this point, my stencil has some paint on it because when the thing fell, I dipped it in paint. So I'm just gonna wipe that off the back here. And then when I'm done with these, or sometimes even while I'm using them, I take them outside and I hose them. I use my hose to clean them. Or if it's winter, I stick them in my bathtub. Let's do this drawer again. See if this drawer wants to be friends now. A little more paint. Reagan, I'm live right now.
I just wanted to tell you, I want you to read this message.
All right, just wait a second.
Just read it.
Reagan, I'm live. Okay.
Kristen's having a sister.
Okay, that's great. That is fantastic.
Hello, everyone. Bye.
Carson's having a sister. What did we learn today? Tape and stencils are useless. On this piece, it's been useless. I mean, I have used it a lot before. Like, I've always taped them. And today, they're like, it's just useless. All right, I like that. I like that. One of the reasons I like to do the ghosting of the stencils is because I can't get my stencils perfect ever. Never have been able to. This is the 2-inch stencil brush. This is my favorite brush ever. I use this for blending a lot. This is like, if I had to choose one brush to keep out of all my brushes, I would choose this one. And I have a lot of favorite brushes. I have like favorite brushes for different things, but I feel like this brush I pull out for almost every single project, whether it's stenciling or blending. I always seem to use this one. I like the Dixie Belle Mini, but this one seems to be the one that like saves me when I can't blend something. This is my lifesaver. Large, flat, round brush. All right, let's stencil up right here. You know, I'm gonna let this dry instead of trying to stencil that part of the drawer. And I'm just gonna do this bottom right here. And I'm gonna try and tuck this under the drawer to make my life easier. And see if that'll help me hold it a little bit. We're probably gonna have something there, so I'm not even gonna worry about having that stencil there right now. I like that. I like that a lot. And then this one here, I'm just gonna kind of I don't know, I'm gonna just push this up in this corner and see if I could just kind of mimic what I just did. Okay. And I can't pull it because we fell off our rollers. If you guys are just joining, we fell off our rollers. And I cannot, usually these buffets, I can lift by myself. Usually if I have a buffet in here, this is a newer one. You can always tell if a piece of furniture is newer because it'll be heavier. And the heavier pieces aren't made of real wood, so they're like made of whatever particly stuff. And so, your wood pieces are easier to lift, but this one isn't. This one's like a Thomasville, it's newer. So it's super, super heavy. So usually I can lift them and put them back on the rollers myself, but not this one. Hi Betty. Okay. That's dry enough. I'm gonna go with this side. And the reason I'm gonna go with this side is because I'm thinking it's a little drier. That's really the only thing I'm thinking. All right. Said this, but the reason I always do ghosted or distressed stenciling is because it's not I'm not very good at it, but I do like the way it looks. So I'm really, as I'm looking at this, I'm really thinking I'm going to take some sandpaper to this just to distress it down. What time is it? Let's do that right now. Let's do that right now. All right, you know what? We have time. Let's finish this up and then I'll show you and let this dry a little more, and then I'm going to take some sandpaper to it. Stenciling something you really have to get into a roll or a rhythm with, and then it gets easier. So I was really on the struggle bus here when we started. Okay. I like that. Oh, this is cotton. This color here is called cotton. And then the base coat is coffee bean. Oh, goodness. And then I layered hurricane gray and manatee gray over the top. Okay. Just gonna peek. Need a little more. Okay, that's good. Oh yeah, that's good. Okay, so now I'm gonna sand it. I'm gonna ghost them. I think that's Cece's term, ghosting. We're gonna ghost these stencils. And then I'll do some shading. I'm gonna think about the shading a little bit though. I'm gonna spend a little more time thinking about it. It is a Prima stencil. So just to show, let's see, how to do this, I'm going to do it in the center here. So my stenciling isn't perfect, you guys. Nothing I do is perfect. And so I just find ways to incorporate that into my look because I do not have OCD and I will not spend hours trying to fix this or make it perfect. It is what it is. It's, you know, just kind of is what it is. So I'm going to use a fine sanding paper. And I do like the look. But I know, it's one of those things, like, I can't drive myself crazy over trying to make something perfect. Let's go with oh, that's very fine. We're going to go somewhere between a medium and a fine grit paper here. And I'm going to sand this back. Thank you, Betty. Betty, I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. I'm glad you're back. I'm going to start with medium. Because that's taking some of my texture away. I really just want to hit the surface of this. So all I'm going to do is I'm just taking, this has a texture on it, which I'm starting to lose a little bit of that texture by sanding. But I just kind of want to fade them out a little bit. And then my plan is, I'm going to do it right now, I think. I'm going to go over it with a darker or a lighter color, an off color. Do you guys want to see that? Oh, hey, Shaz. I love Dion. Dion is a good friend of mine. All right, I'm going to do a little shading over it just to kind of give you guys the whole idea that I have. I'm either gonna do, I might just, I don't know if I want to stick with coffee bean. I pulled out Antebellum Blue. I kind of want to see how it looks. I don't know if it'll look good. I don't know if I will keep it, but I want to try it and I want to show you guys. So, and also let me grab coffee bean in case I hate it. I don't do sample boards. So this is pretty much, this is how I work. I try it, if I don't like it, I paint over it. My husband's always like, well, why don't you try it on a small part and see if you like it? I'm like, you don't get the whole vision. You don't get the whole vision with a small piece. Go big or go home. Okay. So, let's try some Antebellum Blue. Let's see. Kind of want to bring a little color into it, especially if we're going to use those sunflowers, which we may or may not do. So I'm just dipping my paintbrush in the paint and just kind of going over it. And I have texture on here. I use sea spray in my base coat, which is like a texture additive. So that texture catches a lot of the color. So when you see the color, catch, that's because I use that sea spray. I do like that. I think so. Let's do a little more. You guys can see it. So I'm just this is a pretty dark blue I'm going over it with. How are the new pups? Betty, I don't know that oh, you must be replying to someone. I don't have puppies. No dogs over here. My daughter asks me every single day, can I get a dog? Can I get a cat? Can I get a new sister? Can I get, no. Okay, so I have the Antebellum Blue right here. I'm gonna shade with coffee bean, and you're probably, if it's gonna work the way I'm thinking it is, you're gonna see it pop. So this is all kind of lighter. And then I kind of come around here with the coffee bean. And I just kind of do that shading. It kind of brings it all in. And I can also go over this one more time if I want to. Can you guys see over here? No. So just bringing that coffee bean, you could even do it with, you could shade with black wax too, but I like to do it with paint. And just deepening those edges. So it's almost like the same concept of blending as it's lighter in the center, darker on the edges. But do you see the difference between here and here? That blue, antebellum blue. I just did a whole table in antebellum blue. Oh my gosh, 11 dogs. Wow. Okay. All right, you guys. So, that is how I'm doing some of this ghosted stencil. I may work more colors into it. I'm gonna kind of sit back and look and see, but I may work some more colors into it. I want this to be covered. I want the stencils to not be as apparent. I want them to just kind of be like, you can kind of see them. Like, you know, like one of those things that you kind of like go in the light and it moves and you just see like a design. That's really what I'm going for here. So I'm gonna keep working on it, but thank you guys for joining me, and thank you, Roz, for doing the, helping me do the comments and decipher what products I'm using. And I thank you guys all for being here, and I will see you guys next week at 12 o'clock Central Standard Time on the Redesign with Prima page. So, all right, everyone, have a good one. Bye-bye.